Okay, well, I'm Nathan. I'm going to have my presentation about BlendOn network. I'm not official the creator of it. Brian behind it is Jonas. He's a guy from Norway, and he came up with the idea to create some kind of netcode for the Blender game engine, so you could actually play games online. So I'm more a tester and test it for online use, as well as finding bugs and report it to him. So how did we came up with the idea? It was like, well, I was a game engine user for half a year, and I met Jonas somewhere on the Leisure forum, and the first thing he came up with when he discovered how it worked was like, it would be cool to have some kind of a Blender chat, but then in real-time 3D, you know? See the guys walking around with some kind of icon above their heads and saying hi and all that stuff just for fun. And that's how we came up with the idea to make some kind of multiplayer. So that was just the idea. What did we use to realize? Well, first at the beginning we used some kind of Python script to write information to some kind of text file. So you had two blend files and one text file or two text files, and it got to read it and write it all the time. So it was really slow, really buggy, and you could have FPS drop like that you were able like with playing 10 FPS a second instead of 60 or more. Well, why do we use Python? Well, first we did use only text files, and after it we discovered there was some kind of socket. So it was completely new to us because we aren't programmers, we're just artists, just trying to make some models, game levels, and that's all. So we found Python quite easy to use with socket. So instead of using C++ and C and having ourselves reading books like this, we just stick to Python and read like documentation like this size and figuring out, asking people on Blender chat how it worked and ask some information. So the first thing we came up was just having a connection and getting positions from the game engine, from characters like just a player, get the position, get the orientation, send it over to the server, and have someone else getting it and just print it on that character and see him walking around. That was the first simple thing. I will show it later on. The second thing we wanted was chat. That would be really cool to have someone walking and chatting on the same time. I mean, that's great. And another problem we came up was collision. When you were walking and you saw someone else, like a cube, just a simple cube with some chat text, you just could walk through it. So that was really messy. So we had to find a way to fix that. I don't know how we fixed it, but it got fixed. So the third thing that's just recently, we just tried it like 1.5 months ago, was having animations on the same time as like someone in the USA. So if you saw someone walking through a door and it was opening like someone of the very big markets, and someone else on the other side of the world will see it opening on the same time. So first we had really big problems with that because I was walking through a door instead of it was opening, and I saw him walking through a wall and all that kind of stuff instead just opening doors, and really stupid. Well, the last thing we are trying is having sectors. It's basically based on online RPG games. So when you have some kind of landscape, you don't get information of someone on the other side of the map, just only in the range. So we are just trying that out. It's really cool. So I will show it as well. The future. So what we want is right now we have some almost stable version of having a server, having a client, having some kind of script, and be able to walk around, see someone else walking around, have a chat, shoot each other, get information like he died and I took 1 point, something like that. And what we want is we want it maybe to integrate it inside Blender instead of being outside, because now it's just a console running outside of Blender. And I talked to someone about the first program and he had some kind of ideas with it. He came up with something like being able to paint textures while playing a game, so that would be really cool. So maybe I talk with him about first and being able to play games with Blender online. That would be really cool. Okay, now I'm going to show some examples. What you see here is just some prep because you compiled it, and just to make it easy, be sure I didn't have some kind of strange version of Python. So what I do now is I just start a really simple server. It's just a really simple console, and you just write serve. Okay. So I do some kind of local IP. It says here a port. You just can just add, if you are an admin, you can just write one if you want 1000 something. And I think now I can really serve the name. So I give it the name test. That name can be displayed in a game as well, and a map. Okay, I'm going to choose some kind of map. See. So what it asks now is about, I just typed in a map, so it takes a map, and while you're playing it, it will be able to change maps while you're playing. Like each 15 minutes you get another kind of map. Right now it asks for free entry or just doing an account. Well, an account is just complicated and I'm not sure if it's working, so we just tried free entry. And now it's starting. So it's checking some things, configuration stuff, and some things of the map. What I do now is starting the same start and having type client IP to connect to, same port. So now it asks just for login system, only nickname, or okay, so it's one, just a normal nickname, and okay, what we have now is just a really simple version. Just walk around, and it looks like just a normal game. So what we're going to do now is actually a few players playing around. Okay, so what we have now is a window here with a player, and a window here with a player. Yeah, it's a little bug. I don't know when you move down here. Okay, no problem. So you can walk around. You see the red one I'm moving now is just the player on that computer, and the green one is the one that's got just sent over. So if I click this one now, this one, and this one, I see then it's green person walking there. So it's a really simple test, just the position and orientation, just to give an idea it works. I changed this map, but it takes 15 minutes, so I'm going to start it again. Yeah. I'm going to check out the map again. Let's say we are looking at the FPS basic. And we are going again. What we have now is just a really simple FPS game. It's just one room, you can walk around, and that's all. So I don't see anyone walking around right now. I'm going to do this. And start energy. Before I do this, I'm going to see client, someone else wants the song. Types in IP. Class again on the web. It's not very good. It's not really stable yet, but what? I hope it stays there. They had print a lot like that. It's not really good as well. But okay. I hope it's working. Okay. So what we have here is, I'm looking here around, I haven't seen some guy there, and on another one I see him walking. So this is a really simple version of an FPS game. We wanted to have this finished with shooting and with a little bit of chat, but we didn't have enough time to do some kind of complete demo. So this is what we have right now, the demo we wanted to release. So this is an FPS. It's really smooth. If you look here, you see even a little bit sliding. We use some kind of that it calculates when the next position will be or where it will be, and between there it makes some kind of a smooth motion, like a curve. It's really nice done. Okay, I'm going to quit all these again. And I will show the timer again. I made a mistake. Yeah. What do I have to write now? Nothing. That's okay. So what we are going to test now is the sector part. It's the most impressive part for me. Oh, the sectors. Yeah. Okay. We have to find a system for that as well. You don't have to type all the... Huh? Yeah. I don't like, but well. Sectors ready. Okay, free access and okay. So we start this one. Line 2005 and take some time. So what we have here is a combination of sector culling. So I will show now the sectors up here, disappear, the It's like basically how online RPGs are working. So it's really cool, and it's all done with blended game engine like it's now. So people thinking about that things don't work. Well, if you stick some time in it and figuring out, you can do a lot. So I hope that guys over. Client. Zero. Plus again. Okay, so that's the another one. And we see here some green dye. That's the same person over here. So we remove that person and then it's a sector. Like that. And we'll see it's fade out. It's gone. So you don't get position of it. You don't get anything of it. If it's shooting like this, no problem. You don't get anything. So we're here. Yeah, the distance is not set yet, but you can really see the speed fading in, fading out. So when I walk behind him, shoot his ass, and I go again, it will be done. So this is how RPGs online are working right now, and we are trying to make a game with it. So it's really cool. So this is how it works right now. Oh, I could show you the chat briefly. We have a little bit of chat. You can put in here, and you will see it on the end of the client as well. This is really cool. So that's that's all what I wanted to show you.